In the villages of Kajiado County, the ancient rhythms of life are changing. For over 400 years, the Maasai people have called this landscape home. But today, the rains that once felt like clockwork and sustaining them have become strangers to this land. Today, climate change is rewriting the rules of survival here, an existential threat that extends far beyond the herds to the very homes that shelter Maasai families. Hello there, you are just in time for Earthwise. Now, I want to start off with a question to you. Is there such a thing as a resilient house? Climate change is this thing that we're all living in right now, and some of our homes have been said to not be climate resilient. So what exactly is a climate resilient house? Well, come along with us for the next 26 minutes and we'll tell you exactly what that is. Oh my God, it's hot! We are in a Kang in Kajiado County, somewhere near Magadi. It's about 20 kilometers away from Magadi. So you go through Magadi and then you come on the other side and you find this nice little village. Come, I'm going to show you climate resilient houses.
Sasa sisi tunapitia kweli hukumu sana. Ni vile sijui kama watu hawajafunuliwa ajue ni mbaya mtu akipitia haiko na mali sijui, lakini tuko na hiyo shida.
Sasa Manyata mkijenga, mnajenga aje na inachukua siku ngapi kijenga?
Manyata kabisa inaendelea kujenga. Unaweka sasa kama iru anaweka angang. Naanza sasa nyumba ya nyumba kabisa. Tunaenda kutafuta miti ya kukata. Natoa nyumba kama hii lakini hii ni ya Maasai. Natoa mafito kutoa nini ile anasashika nyumba kiingia. Tafuta ingine iko na mdomo hivi. Sasa naweka ingine hii na ikuwe nyumba. Anaenda kutafuta porini.
Na ni wamama wanafanya hiyo?
Wamama ndio wanafanya kazi.
Inachukua siku ngapi kujenga?
Kama nyumba naita kama nyumba kadogo hii, kama nini kwanza, kama mimi sahi, kama hii nyumba kadogo hii, mimi ni wiki. Kwa sababu naenda kutafuta najua sahi hapa kijenga sio miti moja.
Miti mingi.
Pande hii nataka miti yake. Juu nataka miti yake. Atoshani. Na mpaka naenda kutafuta yote uweze kujenga.
The characteristic dome-shaped structure built from locally sourced mud, cow dung, wooden posts and grass thatch represent more than just shelter. These traditional huts are built using locally sourced materials, ensuring that the structures are sustainable and well suited to the Maasai's semi-nomadic life. The construction of the manyatas has remained unchanged for centuries, with Maasai women possessing the knowledge and skills passed down through generations to build these homes that could be quickly erected, abandoned, and rebuilt as herds move across the landscape in search of fresh pasture.
Maisha yetu ya mama, sisi hatuna kitu yetu. Sasa vitu yetu sasa tunaishi hapa, tukitaka kwenda Kiramati tunaenda mguu, hakuna kenye tunauza. Sisi kazi yetu ni kuangalia tu ng'ombe nyumbani. Tukitoka hapa kwenda Kiramati tunaenda mguu, hatuna kitu yetu tunaanza kuuza. Sisi wamama tupate kazi. Sisi kazi yetu ni kukaa nyumbani, tunataka kujenga, tunaenda hata msituni mbali. Tunaweza enda kuleta huko mbali, huko karibu huko Kiramati, naleta miti, tunajenga hapa nyumba. Hakuna mtu anakusaidia, wewe peke yako. Kama hujui unaweza tu jenga mpaka ujue. Je kujenga.
Ufanye makosa mpaka ujue.
Ufanye makosa sisi kwa wadogo sisi hatujui kufanya. Sasa sisi tunajifunza, tunajenga kanyumba kidogo, ukiharibu unaweza ishi ndani. Ya pili unaweza jenga mzuri. Na unaenda huko mseni unabeba hizo, unabeba 2, unakuja kulalisha kesho kutu, unaenda unarudia, unaleta zingine. Unakuja kulalisha hivi mpaka tujue.
Sasa inakuchukua siku ngapi kujenga?
Sasa sisi sasa tuko wadogo, sisi tunachukua mwezi mmoja. Juu tujenge
Bado mnajifunza.
Bado sisi tunajifunza. Sisi bado hatujui. Sasa tunaishi mwezi mmoja ndio tumalize nyumba.
Na wakati bado unajenga, unaishi ndani ukijenga?
Hapana. Hapana. Una pale lingine unaishi, alafu sasa unajenga hiyo polepole juu hatujui kujenga sana. Sasa tunajenga polepole mpaka tujue.
Na wakati wa kiangazi maisha iko aje?
Siku ya kiangazi hapa kuna mbaya, tunahama hapo, tunaenda pale lingine, tena naenda kujenga nyumba nyingine. Naenda kujenga hiyo kidogo, unaingia kiangazi tena kirudi kiingia, tunatoka hapo. Tunaenda pale lingine. Sasa kazi yetu ni hiyo. Kuhama mpaka Mungu mkinyesa, sasa tunarudi hapa.
Na hiyo mkiendelea kuhama hivyo watoto wanasomaje?
Watoto kuna mwenye anabaki hapa kuangalia watoto.
So kila mtu anaenda?
Si kila mtu, moja ama 2 ndiye anaenda, moja anabaki anaangalia watoto anasoma.
But the climate that once made this nomadic lifestyle possible is vanishing. Increased rainfall and droughts have made traditional material less durable. What were once predictable wet and dry seasons have transformed into chaotic patterns of extreme weather that traditional manyatas cannot withstand. The small windowless structures designed with small entrances that serve multiple purposes: security to prevent large predators and intruders from easily entering, temperature control to retain warmth during cold nights and keep heat out during the day, and smoke ventilation now struggle against unprecedented weather patterns. Perceived changes in rainfall have been variously described as insufficient, unpredictable, short and intense, delayed onset, poorly distributed, increased frequency of drought and prolonged drought. When fierce storms arrive, they can destroy manyatas in hours, washing away walls of mud and dung that took weeks to build.
This is a model of what a traditional Maasai Manyata looks like. It's made to reflect the pastoral nature of the community, built to be able to move, pack up and move along with the livestock when they do. So this one is made of twigs, a little bit of cow dung, and I hear the cow dung is mixed with ash in order to hold it. But one of the problems with this structure is that it's not resilient to the weather, which means sometimes when it rains, it leaks because the soil, the cow dung goes all the way to the top. So when it rains, it leaks. And this is one of the problems that this project is trying to address. How do you take this structure and make it more resilient so that you encourage the community to be able to stay longer as opposed to moving from time to time, and therefore empower themselves economically? And to talk a little bit more about this, I'm joined by Mana Omar, who's the Executive Director of the Spring for Semi-Arid Land, SASA. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us on Earthwise.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about this boma here. What's going on here?
So this is called the Enkang Modern Village. We're situated in Kimelok Village in Olkiramatian, Magadi Ward, Kajiado County. And as the name states, it's a climate resilient and gender equal model village. And whatever that happens here is we're trying to showcase programs that could promote climate resilience and gender equality. So we're using a technique known as observational learning, where communities from around can learn firsthand about how they can lead gender equal and climate resilient lives. We have role models. Those are a selection of beneficiaries who live here partially. And these are people who we've selected based on a criteria.
So they get to see what a resilient home looks like and then hopefully replicate it in their homes.
Yes, they actually learn and then people can learn from them, because we found out that the communities here, and even from the method of the observational learning, I'm able to learn from someone I relate with quickly than from
a stranger.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this Manyata here. What's wrong with it? What is the problem you're trying to solve?
There's actually really nothing wrong with it. It's amazing. It's something that has been passed from our culture, beautiful Maasai culture. But the issue is it cannot sustain people who live here in the wake of climate change.
How is that?
Because as you can see from the materials that are used to build this house, the roof can easily leak during intense rainfall or even just minimal rainfall. Okay. As you can see, it easily permeates.
You can see the sun on the ground.
Yeah, you can see the reflection of the sun on the ground. It's also not really cool inside during the day because of the materials that are used to make the walls.
They put polythene on the sides of the wall as well.
Just to, they tried to like adapt to climate issues. That's what brought in the polythene. But technically,
it makes it even hotter.
Yeah, it makes it even hotter because of that. It retains heat. So we're just trying to make sure these communities are climate resilient by introducing new housing structures that are cost effective, because people are really not able to build expensive houses. And then things that they can easily afford and source. Because as we're going to look at the other house, you'll find out that the materials are actually not expensive and there's something that can be easily sourced. Yeah.
Okay, so in a traditional setup, I know you're from this area.
Yeah.
In a traditional setup, how long does it take to build this manyata?
So if it's work done on daily basis, because it's not done by one woman, it might be done by maybe 5 women decide to build this house. Traditionally, the role of a woman is to build this house. And that's why we are trying to introduce more modern ways so that the workload on women reduces. It will take 10 days.
10 days.
On non-stop basis. But then if there is other works involved and all that, they can even go up to 20. Okay. Sometimes sourcing the cow dung is a major problem because animals migrate. They have to go to where the cows are to get this. Also for these twigs, there are special kind of twigs found along riverbeds. They can easily bend without breaking. And that's
soft as absorbed water.
Yeah. So this is what they have to go up to the riverbed to get this special kind of twigs. And this kind of ropes, they get it from the backs of the tree to build. Even the grass, during the dry season, you don't find grass. So they have to go into the conservancy. So it's not really an easy task to build this. But then because of the nature of the community migrating from one area to another, this is something that has been there from time immemorial. So our new model is just trying to replicate exactly what this house looks, how it looks like, but with more improved materials to ensure it's climate resilient.
So when the time comes to migrate, how, from the traditional manyata again, how much of it can you salvage?
They can't. They just leave it like that.
Yeah. You just move yourself.
Yeah, they actually abandon that place and go. But then that kind of a homestead is reserved for the same family unless they've chosen to go away for good. Because most of this land is community land. No one owns any land.
A traditional Maasai boma is often built in a circle, quite similar to what's happening here. The circle has not been completed yet, but all around we've got the manyatas to represent this boma. So they're built in a circle, and then in the middle there's open space, where you'll find the children playing and sometimes where the livestock are held. So the purpose of this boma specifically is to show what a climate resilient manyata or a boma would look like. And it's a project that was just recently completed. So this is the model of what one of these climate resilient manyatas looks like. It's built to look exactly like what a traditional manyata looks like. However, when you come inside, it feels much cooler than a traditional manyata, which is built of cow dung and ash. And also, I can raise my hand, which is something you don't often see in a traditional manyata because they're built to be low, so you'd often be bending. So the walls of this new or resilient manyata is concrete, which then means that when it rains, no matter how heavily it rains, the structure remains intact. It is not blown away by the winds. This area, Nkang area in Magadi, is said to have very strong winds. So a lot of times when the winds blow, parts of the manyata are blown away. So when it's built of concrete like this, it stands strong against the wind.
The Eco Manyata, a solid structure made of bricks and cement, comes equipped with a solar panel, a water harvesting tank, and a small kitchen garden. While maintaining this oblong shape of the traditional building, it is well ventilated thanks to windows.
So how does the community take it, you being a woman and knowing the cultural perceptions that exist within the Maasai community and their place, where they think a woman's place is? How do they take when you tell them, guys, you need to move from that to this?
It wasn't easy in the first place. We started this, we wanted to start this project in another village, and we were completely interrupted. We had to move because they completely rejected the leadership of a woman. And then we came here, we faced the same challenges, but we found out a solution to maneuvering within these leadership structures and community governance. Every leadership within this community requires recognition. And me going through all of them was the best thing I ever did to make this successful. So of course they would say, we want to be guided by a small girl, we want to be led by a woman, what does she know, and all that. But with time they came to appreciate, and with the help of a set of leaders known as age group leaders. They're traditional leaders, and it's kind of linked to the culture. They are not elected, so they believe that these people are just select, but they're age group leaders. They lead different age sets of men, and I consulted with them. And I told them, this is exactly what I want. Their main fear was if the culture was going to be eroded, because there were some aspects of gender equality. And I told them, specifically, this is what we want to do. We want to change your mindsets, but not influence your women to go against you. Because whenever we speak about gender equality, whatever comes to their brains or minds is we want to turn their women against them, make them the head and not the neck. That's what they say. But for us, we tell them, we're just going to ensure that these women have a voice, that you can, you can see their importance in leadership and all that. You've heard us saying, now men drop their wives here.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how much they've changed. Okay. And at the first time, they didn't want them to sit in any training to talk about gender equality.
So how is this new age Manyata better than the traditional Manyata?
So
it even looks taller than the other one.
Yeah, this is taller because in that Manyata you have to actually bend to go in. So technically you won't be comfortable standing here for longer. Again, the materials that we've used here are we've used cement.
Okay.
But we've not used a lot of cement because inside there's chicken wire and something called the Hessian cloth. It's a kind of sack.
Is it that?
This one, yes.
Okay.
So when this when this material is filled with water, it gives out a cooling effect. So you can easily sleep and rest here. You see clothes from people here. People rest here.
Somebody stayed there already.
Yeah. And then this house, as you can see, has electricity. And it's just from the solar energy around here. Okay. No special, we've done nothing else apart from tapping it through solar.
Okay. So when you say when this sack absorbs water, how is it absorbing the water? You have to
power. You have to pour the water during the day, just physically.
The outside or on the inside?
On the inside. Okay. But even on the outside, you can fetch water. Like easily harvest rainwater. We don't use a lot of cement because, again, it's costly. So when we use cement and this cloth and the chicken wire, then it forms this kind of a wall with the plaster and all that. So it's a strong, solid, very strong. There was actually in the month of April we tested. We made sure that these buildings were all done by April because they are very strong winds. And it's the rainfall season. But nothing happened. There were minor flecking off of some cement you would see on the sides and the doors. Some of them broke, but nothing else. So we just repaired the hinges and the houses remained intact. It doesn't leak any rainfall. So it's safe for people to stay inside and all that. It's well aerated.
Where did you get this technology? Where did you learn to do this?
We observed from different conservancies, but it's not exactly the same. So we had to modify. But this technical, this aspect of using Haitian cloth, it's being used around conservancies.
Okay.
Especially where game rangers stay, because it's inside the bushes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other question that I would ask is, you said you have to physically put the water.
Yeah.
But one thing we know about the ASOLs, the arid lands, and many of the communities that live in these arid lands, that water access is such a problem. So how do you convince them that that bucket of water you have, pour it on your wall?
It's actually not really needed as per se. It's just on my luxury if I want it to be more cooler.
Okay.
But then,
It's like how you go into the fridge and get ice cubes.
yeah, if you want your drink more cold. Yeah. But then, if you see within in between every 2 house, there is a tank. So during the rainfall season, we put in some gutters that are not, we don't fix it permanently because of the sun. So it can easily tear down and all that. So we just put it during the rainfall season. It's in the store up there. That fetches water to go into the tank, but we don't drink that water.
Why?
Because we are not sure of the cement and the quality of water that comes.
Okay.
But it's used for any other purposes,
Okay.
like watering trees, because you have a land restoration project. You will see we're growing trees all around, and hopefully with the time we get these indigenous trees like the neem tree, because what's here is the acacia that we found in this piece of land and that we're trying to regenerate as well.
Okay.
So the water that is from these tanks that are fetched, we use it to water trees, to wash clothes here, to use the sanitation and all that. But then normally during the dry season, when we don't have any rainfall, we're not harvesting water, we just use the piped water from the source that we tap down there to fill in the tank so people can still drink from the tank.
Okay. So given that the traditional manyata is built by women, is this one also built by women?
Now it's not built by women now. We want to impart those skills on the women.
Okay.
Yeah. So this has been done by contractors, but not really contractors. For this project, we've received unrestricted funding support. Because if we use contractors, we would not even build one house. We'd have 100,000.
This technology hasn't taken off yet and is still at pilot stage, but through this model village, more and more women are warming up to the idea since it cuts down the time spent during construction.
Sasa vile wamejenga hii Enkang, nyumba mpya, nyumba tofauti na hizo zenu kama zenu za Kimasai, unaonaje?
Sahi hapa tunaona kazi mzuri. Sisi hatutana tuwezi hama. Juu hapa tumekuwa maji karibu. Na sisi tuka hapa nyumba yetu sasa kuna pale tunaenda, mbuzi yetu ataendi kutafuta maji, tunakunya hapa. Sasa hiyo kazi ndio mzuri. Na hizo manyumba zitaona ni mzuri. Sasa mimi nikikuja kuona hii nyumba, naenda kuambia bwana wangu nataka nijengee nyumba kama hii. Anaenda kunijengea.
Atakubali kwa sababu mila yenu ni nyinyi wanawake ndo mnajenga?
Atakubali.
Bado hujamwambia?
Bado, lakini tunaambia lakini atakubali.
I'm Earthwise because I'm very passionate about addressing climate issues in the ASALs of Kenya.
So as we wrap up Earthwise, I hope you have thought about your next construction project. I know that's something you probably want to do in your life, where you're going to build your retirement home. But how climate resilient is that home as you build it? Because scientists tell us climate change will keep getting worse and worse and worse. And the only thing we can do is adapt. So as you build your home, build it to adapt to climate change. Earthwise bids you goodbye. See you again next week.
Would you like to interact with us? Earthwise would love to hear from you.